Have you ever gazed up at the night sky and noticed that bright reddish star twinkling in the shoulder of the Orion constellation? That star is called Betelgeuse, and while it might just look like any other point of light in the sky, Betelgeuse is anything but ordinary. It's one of the most fascinating, mysterious, and closely watched stars in our entire galaxy. Why? Because this star is massive. It's unstable. And one day, maybe even one night soon, it will explode in one of the most powerful events the universe can produce, a supernova. But here's the astonishing twist. No one knows exactly when that moment will come. It could happen tonight, next week, 1,000 years from now, or even 100,000 years down the line. From a human perspective, that uncertainty might feel endless. But in cosmic terms, it's like waiting for the next breath. And recently, Betelgeuse gave us a dramatic clue, a moment that made astronomers around the globe sit up, recalibrate their instruments, and start watching this star very, very closely. So, what happened? And why does it matter so much? Let's start with the basics. Betelgeuse, pronounced either Beetlejuice or Betelgeuse, depending on whom you ask, is a red supergiant. This is a type of star that forms when a massive star, much larger than our Sun, enters the final stage of its life. Stars like our Sun live long, stable lives, quietly fusing hydrogen into helium for billions of years. But red supergiants? They burn hotter, fuse elements faster, and die younger and more dramatically. Betelgeuse is enormous, truly gigantic. To put it into perspective, if you were to place Betelgeuse where our Sun currently sits in the center of the solar system, its surface would extend beyond the orbit of Jupiter. That's right. This single star would engulf Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, and even Jupiter in its searing atmosphere. It's about 764 times the diameter of the Sun, and over 10 times as massive. And despite its size, it's still relatively young, around 10 million years old. A mere infant compared to our 4.6 billion-year-old Sun. But here's the thing about massive stars. They live fast and die young. While our Sun is expected to live for around 10 billion years, Betelgeuse's short life is rapidly nearing its conclusion. It's already gone through the bulk of its hydrogen fuel and is now fusing heavier and heavier elements in its core. A process that ends in collapse. Now, stars don't just go supernova without warning. There are signs, signals, clues. And in late 2019, Betelgeuse gave us one of the biggest clues we've ever seen from a star of this kind. It began to dim. And not just a little, it dropped to about a third of its usual brightness. The star, that had burned red and steady for generations, suddenly looked like it was fading. It stayed dim for weeks. This was unusual. This was concerning. People around the world, from professional astronomers to backyard stargazers, began to wonder, was this it? Was Betelgeuse about to explode? Telescopes from all over the world turned their gaze to Orion. Space-based observatories like Hubble, along with massive Earth-based instruments like the Very Large Telescope, VLT in Chile, locked onto the star. Data poured in. Every brightness fluctuation was tracked. Every spectral line was analyzed. And finally, scientists figured out what had happened. No, Betelgeuse hadn't gone supernova, not yet. Instead, it had undergone a massive surface eruption. Something we'd never directly observed on a red supergiant before. You can think of it like a solar flare, but on a scale that dwarfs anything our Sun has ever done. Betelgeuse had literally burped, violently throwing off a huge cloud of gas and dust from its surface. That cloud drifted into our line of sight and temporarily blocked our view of the star's light, making it appear dimmer from Earth. This event came to be known as the Great Dimming, and it was a game-changer. Why? Because we had never before caught a red supergiant in the act of ejecting its outer layers in real time. This was more than just a curiosity. It was a rare chance to peek behind the cosmic curtain and witness the kind of instability that often precedes a supernova. It confirmed what many scientists had suspected. Betelgeuse isn't just a giant. It's a volatile, dying giant, teetering on the brink of one of the most violent deaths in the universe. And here's another jaw-dropping detail. The cloud of dust Betelgeuse ejected was estimated to be over 400 million kilometers wide. That's wider than the entire distance between the Earth and Mars. Imagine one star sneezing out a cloud so large it could span almost half our solar system. That's what happened, and it tells us just how powerful these dying stars can be. Since then, astronomers have kept their eyes locked on Betelgeuse. They've made more surprising discoveries. For one, Betelgeuse appears to be rotating faster than expected. Much faster, in fact, than a star of its size normally would. Some researchers believe this could mean that Betelgeuse once consumed a smaller companion star, which transferred angular momentum and spun it up. In other words, Betelgeuse may have had a close encounter, or even a merger, long ago, and we're still seeing the effects today. Meanwhile, deep inside the star, something even more dramatic is happening. As Betelgeuse fuses heavier and heavier, elements, carbon, neon, oxygen, and eventually iron, it's approaching the endgame. Once it begins fusing iron, it will no longer be able to generate the outward pressure needed to counteract gravity. When that balance tips, the core will collapse in a fraction of a second, triggering a massive supernova explosion. But when will that happen? That's the question we all want answered. The truth is, no one knows. It could be tomorrow. It could be 50,000 years from now. It could even be longer. From our perspective, that's a huge range. But from the perspective of the universe, that's the blink of an eye. Here's what we do know. When Betelgeuse finally goes supernova, it will be unlike anything anyone alive has ever seen. The explosion will be so bright it may rival the full moon in the night sky. It might even be visible during the day, shining through the blue of the sky like a second sun. And despite its intensity, Betelgeuse is far enough away, about 642 light-years from Earth, that the explosion won't be dangerous to us. There will be no deadly radiation or shockwaves reaching Earth. Just an incredible celestial light show that could last for weeks or even months. It might be the biggest cosmic event witnessed by humanity in our lifetimes. And yet, Betelgeuse remains quiet for now. Still glowing, still pulsing, still keeping its secrets. It's a reminder that even the stars we think we know the most about can surprise us. The universe is alive, it's dynamic, it's always in motion, and we are lucky to live in a time when we can watch and learn from these cosmic giants. So the next time you look up at Orion's shoulder and see that glowing red star, remember, you're looking at a dying titan, a star on the edge of eternity. And maybe, just maybe, you'll be one of the humans lucky enough to witness its final act. Thanks for joining this journey through space and time. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Betelgeuse and the life and death of massive stars, leave a comment below. Do you think Betelgeuse will explode in our lifetime? Until next time, keep looking up. The universe is full of stories, and some of them are written in the stars.